Welcome back to Got Wire. Today I got the Flex 2.5 gig switch here. I bought it with my own funds. Ubiquiti didn't send it to me. I wish they would have, but I'm a little too small for them to send me stuff. But I thought it was cool. I wanted to buy it and do a little unboxing and review of it. It's a little cool 2.5 gig PoE switch. It has 8 2.5 gig RJ45 ports and then a combo 10 gig RJ45 and SFP Plus port for the uplink. And I'm going to connect it to my other 2.5 gig switch with a 10 gig connection using this DAC cable. You can get these in different colors. I just like getting the green. This is pretty affordable on Amazon. I'll link it down in the description. But we'll get this opened up here. Alright, looks like you get a little template here. It's got a little level on it, like what Ubiquiti always has, I guess, so you can get this level on the wall, so you can mount it to the wall with this bracket if you want. And then it has some paper here. We'll get that undone. And here's what it looks like. You have the 8 2.5 gig Ethernet ports. And then you have the 10 gig RJ45 with the SFP Plus port here that I'm going to stick my DAC cable into to connect it to my other switch. And you also have USB-C. You can power the switch with PoE Plus, so that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to have this DAC cable connected for data, and then the RJ45 just to power it with PoE. That way I don't have to use the included wall wart with USB-C on it. So I will get this powered up, log into my laptop here, and show you adopting it and all the settings that it has in the Ubiquiti interface. Well, I got the switch all plugged up. I got a RJ45 cable powering it up with PoE from my 2.5 gig switch, and then I have that DAC cable plugged into my other 2.5 gig switch down here for data. And now the first thing you gotta do is go into your controller. I have a Cloud Key Gen 2, so you just go to the IP address of your UniFi controller, or whatever you have. Click on Unified Devices, find it, you click on Click to Adopt, and we'll wait for it to adopt. Well, it got done adopting, and it looks like it's up to date, so we'll go ahead and click on our USW Flex 2.8 gig, and we'll go ahead and click on Port Manager here, and these two ports are combined together. Like I said, it's either one or the other, and right now I have the SFP Plus with that DAC cable, and I'm using the other port to power it with PoE, so that way, like I said, you don't have to use the power adapter it comes with. And as you can see, it's linking at 10 gig, the color code there, port 10 gigabit per second. And then my laptop, I have a 5 gigabit per second adapter, USB-C to 5 gig adapter, and it's linking at 2.5 gig because that's the fastest this switch will do is 2.5 gig. You can see that there, my gaming laptop. And you can rename, you can click on it and rename the port, whatever you got plugged into there. That's what I really like about Ubiquiti. It makes it, simple to figure out what you got connected to that port as long as you go in there and rename them. You can disable the port, activate the port. This is for your native VLANs. If you have VLAN set up on your network, I have IoT VLAN, my camera VLAN, and a phone VLAN. I'm just going to leave it on my default VLAN. And then tag VLAN management, allow, block, or custom. And you can read what it does. That's what I like about Ubiquiti. You can just hover over it. If you don't know what it does, you can read it. It gives you a little bit better description as to what it does and if you should turn it on or not. And then you got manual here, operation switching, link speed, auto negotiate. You can force the link speed if you want. And as much of these other granular controls you can get into, which is nice. If you want to mess with them, you can. If not, you can leave it. Ubiquiti is pretty plug and play. And now that I get everything connected, we'll go ahead and do a speed test here. My internet from AT&T is only 1 gig. So I'll run a speed test here at fast.com. Since I'm connected at 2.5 gig, and since I'm connected on the 5 gig port, it gives me a little bit faster than 1 gig. I'm getting 1.4 gigabits per second on the download. So that's great. I'm getting a little bit more than what I'm paying for. And to really see if we're going at the full 2.5 gig, I have my server here on my local network running open speed test. Run a open speed test here and see what we get. And it's pretty close to 2.5 gig. 2.4, almost 2.5 gig, and we'll see what the upload is. and the upload is almost 2.5 gig too. So this is essentially double the speed of gigabit. So if you're moving files onto a file server, this would be well worth the investment. I think it's like $100 and something for this switch to get double the speed to move your files onto your server or to move your files off your server onto your PC. This is double the speed. And in my opinion, it's well worth it, especially, since it's Ubiquiti. It's kind of like the Apple of networking. So in my opinion, I really like this switch, especially if you want to route at 2.5 gig speeds. But with it being $150, or I think it's like $159 on Ubiquiti's website, the Flex Mini 2.5 gig is, I believe, it's only $49. So you can buy 2 of these and get the same amount of ports besides the SFP Plus and the RJ45 port. I think the only reason why you'd need this is if you wanted more ports and you didn't want to have 2 switches, because you could just buy 2 of these for $100 versus this for $150. Or if you had this like at another site, like a shop or a shed next to your house, and you wanted to run fiber out to it using the SFP Plus connector, you could do that too, opposed to running copper out to another building, because you never want to do that because of lightning and other things. You don't want your switches blowing up on you. Like this switch, it's $150, so don't break the bank. But if you just need some simple 2.5 gig networking, I would definitely stick with just the Flex Mini 2.5 gig. This is a really good value. I really like this switch. But thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys like and subscribe. Like I said, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one.